Hey, this is Mark, and we're here at the Klim Adventure Summit, and as promised, I've got Ian here, and Ian's going to talk about a situation that all of us obviously dread, but if you're riding your motorcycle, you're going to eventually fall down, and I'll tell you, this winch setup is going to make things a lot easier and give you a lot more comfort in the backcountry if you are by yourself. And Ian, why don't you tell us what you're going to take us through today?
Perfect. Okay, so one of our goals with the winch scenario on bikes was to really make it as easy to use and intuitive and uncomplicated, but also versatile, so you could deal with it in any situation, whether it was riding the bike, passing through some terrain, water crossings, and any of that type of activity. So what I have over here to my right is a lot of the rigging that you have an option to either have that comes with the winch or is available outside of Warn. So for example, we have our 50-foot synthetic rope extension, which helps you get further reach if you can't reach with the 40 feet that comes on the winch. We have two styles of tree wraps. This is what we call a heavy-duty tree wrap, and it's very durable. It'll deal with a lot of abrasive type of situations. We have a lightweight tree strap, which actually works quite well for the folks that are looking to save a little bit of weight, just a little more conscientious about the durability and the ruggedness of the strap. We have the connection strap that comes with any of the portable winches, and we'll show you how that rigs here just momentarily. We have the electrical cable that connects the winch to the vehicle and provides the power for the winch to operate. We have a 12-foot corded remote, which offers a great option in scenarios where you want to rig the winch to a tree close to the bike, or you just need to be away from the bike while you're winching. And then I'd like to mention a couple other accessories outside of Warn that we found really useful in our training and our use. These are soft loop straps. We'll demonstrate those a little bit later, but they work great for going around a set of forks or other sidebars to attach to. These are available at just about any motorcycle shop. An E-tool offers a lot of unique problem-solving applications. We've used it under the winch as a skid plate. We've used it in anchoring points and things like that. And then there are also a lot of other great carabiners, rock climbing, extrication type of equipment. I just recommend you make sure that the safety rating and the capacity is appropriate for the winch that you're using. So now we're going to go through real quickly what might happen if you want to upright a motorcycle that's on its side. The first thing to do and remember is when you use the winch, we always recommend that the vehicle be running, because the winch will be drawing your battery down, and you don't want to be done with the winching scenario and then not have a battery start. But in a situation like this where a bike's on its side, there's more than enough capacity to right the bike up and then start it. So we'll look for a good anchoring point. The nice thing about most of the adventure bikes is there are some kind of trellis point or attachment point that's easy to get to. I'm going to disconnect the winch from the back of the stow plate. And this is a carrying mechanism that Warren's developed so that you can easily get access to the winch, take it off in a real simple fashion. I'm going to attach the winch with the rigging straps through the keyholes. I'm going to connect the power cable to the bike. And then I'm going to connect the power cable to the winch. The next step is to anchor the winch to your anchor point. So in a winch you have free spool and engaged, and in free spool that will allow you to spool the winch out very easy manner. And we're going to pick this small poplar for demonstration. It's always important when anchoring to anchor as low as possible on your anchor point. This is going to have your most structural integrity. And with bikes, the nice thing is they're fairly light, so it's not as critical as it is with trucks and autos to have the same size of anchor point. So now we're anchored. It's always important to check your rigging too. Make sure that the safety clasp is connected, and it's always important as a practice to go back down your line and make sure there aren't any abrasions or point that may cause an issue. The other unique feature we offer is what we call an abrasion sleeve, and so this is used if you're going to go over a log or a rock. You position the sleeve over the obstacle, and then the winch rope will slide through the sleeve, eliminating any abrasion that may occur. So now the winch is rigged. We re-engage it, and then we use the controls on the bike for this bike. But as I mentioned earlier, an accessory that's very handy is a remote control, and that's an option to buy a remote control, which you'd be able to plug in here and then use separately. The great thing about the winch is you can also stand away from it, and when you're in precarious positions, it's really helpful to kind of give you the extra breath, take your time to assess the situation, and just think through how you can most appropriately get out of there. So this gets the bike upright, and then the next step is once you have the bike upright, it's always good to restart it as quickly as you can. We have another couple tricks that I'll show you really quickly. When you're using the bike and you have various controls with brakes and clutches and things, it can be handy to lock a brake or a clutch lever in place while you're operating the winch. And so what we recommend are just the very inexpensive Velcro straps. You can buy at almost any hardware store, and they'll allow you to go around your handlebars and lock your controls in place to either open the clutch up or lock a brake in the front or the rear.
Yeah, I think locking the brakes up would be good, especially if you're trying to go up a side hill and you don't want the bike to kind of canter back and forth.
Absolutely. Yep. And there are a number of other great techniques that the tour operators and training facilities are working on, like side stand pulls and things like that. So what we'll do is we'll have Jason show you a forward rig here, and we're always available to answer any questions that anybody might have related to how the product can be used. And we look forward to working with Klim and all the other folks in the adventure community to turn this product into something that people can start to utilize and take the adventure riding activity to a whole nother level.
While he's setting up for a front pull, can we go talk about your lights? I think that's some pretty neat lights, so why don't we just do a quick cut and we'll walk over there.
Perfect.
Great.